2002 Ford Explorer 4-wheel drive, and in this particular video we're going to show you how to change inner and outer tie rod ends. Those are the new parts laying over there. The vehicle's got a slight problem with wandering. There's a little bit of wear in the components, 250,000 miles. I guess it's got a good reason to complain. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing you need to do, obviously, is get your vehicle up, support it safely. Don't go trying to use cement blocks. Jack stands are pretty cheap. They will save your life. First thing you need to do, take your tire off. You're going to come right under here. There's a little castle nut right here. Get some light on that. There'll be a cotter pin in it. You can get a hold of that cotter pin and just roll it out. Your new ones should come with it. A pair of dikes work real well for that. You can take that cotter pin out and just discard it. Pretty simple procedure here. You're just going to break the nut loose. And there's a couple of ways you can go about taking these off. If you're not going to reuse it and you don't have access to any of the other specialty tools that you'll see here in a few minutes, you can actually run this nut all the way to the bottom. Take a big hammer and you can come up from underneath with a big hammer and hit the bottom of it. Usually 2-3 good hard hits will pop it right out. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way if you were planning on having to reuse it if you were taking it loose for, say, doing struts or something along those lines. So we'll go ahead and get this one out. Hopefully it's not going to turn on us. Yep, good. Sometimes, depending on how bad your joints are, the stud will actually begin to turn, and that can make it a little bit of a challenge. Some of them will have an Allen slot in the end where you can put an Allen wrench in it and take them out that way. I have actually had to take cut-off wheels before and cut the stud itself off to get them out. Again, anything like that you have to do, think about your safety. Be sure and cover your eyes. I had a friend of mine got some metal in his eye in the shop here the other day, just standing about 20 feet away watching me work on one. Alright, so we got that nut out. Now I'm going to show you two special tools here called a pickle fork. What you'll do is you'll just put it right in there and you can drive it in with a hammer. I prefer not to do that, as I have got in the back of my hand several times and it really does not feel good. So what I'm going to use is a pneumatic air hammer with the same type of tool on it. We'll just get that shoved in there good and tight. Put some air to it. And sometimes they like to fight too. We'll find a hammer. Alright, as you can see here, the pickle fork hasn't gotten it broke completely loose. So what I'm going to do, keeping pressure on it with the fork, I'm just going to take, in my case, a big sledgehammer, and we're going to hit right on the bottom of that stud, just like I was showing you. You can see it pops right up. And that's just going to break that loose, and it's going to allow your arm to pivot back and forth. Now for this purpose, we are doing inner and outer. You will need an alignment after this is done, but you can get your vehicle fairly close. You're going to want to break this bolt loose. I should have told you this earlier. It's best to break that loose with it still in place, because that will obviously hold it there. Even if you forget, you can always pop it back in there.